Hello, Internet! Welcome to another episode of 60 Formula. If you're trying to learn more about Siberian Huskies, well, look no further. The 60 Formula channel's got your back. We teach everything you need to know about training, raising, and living with Siberian Huskies. And guess what, bro? Today we're going to be talking about the eating habits, the eating patterns of Siberian Huscaroni pizzas. When it comes to Siberian Huskies, they have the funniest ways of telling you when it's time to eat. You're literally smushing your brother into the side of the sofa like you do every single episode. Dude, this has got to stop. Your brother's got no room on the sofa, dude. Look at this. There's room for like 2 other Huskies, bro. Over. Good girl. That's my good princess. Thank you. So as we were saying, today we're going to be talking about everything you need to know when it comes to the eating habits of Siberian Huskies. We're going to be talking about how much you should be feeding them when they're a puppy and an adult. We're going to talk about what you should be feeding them. And we're also going to be talking about all the strange little things that they do whenever they're hungry. You got to know when your Husky's hungry. You got to read the signs. Your Husky's not going to pick up an encyclopedia one day, walk right in front of you and go, "Excuse me, sir, my owner, my best friend, I need you to do me a favor and go and prepare me a meal. It's essential for my survival." No, dude, that's never gonna happen. So you have to know when your Siberian Husky is hungry and feed them accordingly. Isn't that right, broskies? That's right. So let's get into it. Let's talk about all the different behaviors, all the different things that you need to know when it comes to keeping your Husky's belly full. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Yeah, I think you are. Let's go. Okie dokie, so you bought yourself a Siberian Husky or you're thinking about getting yourself a Husky. One of the most important things about keeping your Husky healthy is feeding them. You have to feed them the right kinds of foods at certain times of the day. So it's important to study and learn what times a day to feed them and what types of foods you should be feeding them. Let's say you got a Husky puppy. What's one of the first things that you're gonna need? Well, come here, I'll show you. Well, the first thing you're gonna definitely need is a dog bowl. And we absolutely recommend getting a stainless steel dog bowl. You see, when you use plastic bowls, there's an opportunity for some of those chemicals in a plastic dog bowl to get into the water or the food that your doggos eat. So just as a safety precaution, we always use stainless steel bowls, and we make sure to clean them on a regular basis. So okay, yeah, 60 Formula, we need dog bowls, we get it. Can you teach us something useful, bro? Because we already bought the dog bowls. Now, before we get into scheduling and talking about how much you should be feeding your Husky, when you should be feeding them, let's talk about feeding your Husky from your hand. A really important thing to do that a lot of people don't do whenever they get a Husky puppy is feed kibble to them from your hand. Now, you don't need to feed an entire meal. You're just gonna do snack portions from your hand. And what this does is it teaches your Husky to trust you. Know that when you have food in your hand and they're eating, it's a comfortable thing. A hand in their face when they're enjoying food is not something for them to be afraid of. I get a lot of people on the channel who ask me questions about Huskies like, "Yo bro, my Husky likes to growl or like kind of make scary noises whenever I approach them when they're really hungry or they're chowing down on a snack or some food." Huskies like to protect their resources. It's just a natural trait that comes with the breed. If they're ever showing this kind of behavior, you can teach them very easily how to cut it out by introducing food from your hand. So all you have to do is whenever your Husky is eating or in the mood to eat, take a little bit of kibble and just put it in your hand and let them eat out of your hand. This is gonna let them know that, hey dude, when my hand comes towards your face, that doesn't mean I'm trying to steal stuff from you. It may mean that I'm bringing treats your way. Now, this isn't something that's gonna work overnight. You can't just do it once and expect it to work. You gotta practice it. So once a day for a couple weeks, just go up to your dog with some kibble and let them enjoy the food out of your hand. It's really gonna help create that comforting relationship between you and your Husky that, hey, when I put my hand in front of you, when it comes to eating and feeding you, it's not a danger thing. I don't wanna steal nothing from you. In fact, I wanna give you more. Practice this. It's really going to create a... that was a crazy sneeze. Practicing that is really gonna create that strong bond between you and your Huscaroni pizza, and it's gonna make them feel more comfortable. When they get older, they're gonna be like, dude, I'm not even thinking about my daddy-o or my mommy-o stealing my food. I know they're just putting their hand down there because they're my BFF, and they're probably gonna add some treats to it. Okay, now that we've discussed all the puppy stuff, let's go ahead and talk about what types of food and how often you should be feeding your Huscaroni pizza. Bro, can I get a high five? Sweet. Can I get the other high five? Sweet, dude. You the coolest. You the sweetest. You the sweet lime George. Can you boof? pro. Okie doke, let's talk about the proper amounts of food that you should be giving your best friend. When your husky is a small puppy, you should be feeding them 1 cup of food 3 times a day. So if they're around 8 to 10 weeks or only a couple months old, you're only gonna be filling up 1 cup of food 3 times a day. Husky puppies have really sensitive digestive tracts. It's not fully developed, so you have to feed them multiple times a day in little itty bitty amounts. This helps their digestive tract grow, and it helps them digest food easier as a little bitty husky. Now, as they grow older, you're gonna notice that your husky's probably gonna drop one of those meals. You'll go to feed them that bowl of kibble, and they're not gonna really wanna eat it. This is because as your husky gets older, they're going to get rid of one of those 3 meals, and eventually they're only gonna want 1 or 2 meals a day, which is gonna make your life a whole lot easier. But also as they get older, they're gonna be eating a lot more food. There's all sorts of diet options for them. You can do a raw diet, which consists of natural fruits, vegetables, and raw meats, or you can just go with kibble. There's a big debate on which one is best for your dogs, but either way, whichever one you go with, dogs are known to live long, healthy lives with either diet. What we like to do is mix it up with both. I give my dogs a kibble diet, but I also give them wet food, which means they get meats and vegetables with their kibble that's already been cooked. They don't have a raw diet, although we have tried it out. The raw diet just is not for every single doggo out there. Some dogs just don't like it. So remember, if you're gonna try the raw diet, if you wanna try it out, test it out, and if your dog does well on it, that's cool, but if they don't force them to do it. Now, you can feed your husky just 1 time a day. That's completely doable, and we do that sometimes. But it is really healthy to feed them twice, and typically what you want to do is feed them once in the morning and once at night. If you do feed them twice a day, make sure to split up that food. So what I would do is feed them about 2 cups in the morning and then about 1.5 cups with some wet food at night. And basically this would make up their entire meal for the day. Now, you really need to feed your husky based on their weight. You can't just take this video and be like, oh, 60 formula, he said only this amount of food will do for my husky as an adult, so I will take thy word. No, dude, you gotta make sure you're weighing out your pepperoni pizza. If they weigh a certain size, they need to be getting more food. For example, Gila, even though she's got that, the thickness, hashtag thick Gila, Britney Spears gets fed a lot more food at night. And that's just because he's a much bigger husky. If you break things down, Britney Spears is a boy husky and he's way bigger than his sister. So he gets fed more. You have to take that into consideration whenever you're feeding your huskies and creating a diet for them. Now let's talk about the way huskies behave whenever they're hungry, because they do a lot of really crazy things, like turn the other direction and stop paying attention to you when you're making a YouTube video. So typically whenever Siberian Huskies get very hungry, they get rowdy, especially if you got more than one of them. They'll start to wrestle, they'll start to do all sorts of things like trying to misbehave and get your attention. If you just got one husky, they're either going to set their chin on your knee and just stare at you, or they're gonna go absolutely crazy, get the zoomies, and go bonkers. Huskies like to act out and be wild whenever they're hungry. Look at him, he's like, did you just say hungry? That's my favorite word. Commonly, if I wait too long to feed both of the huskies, if I'm just like, dude, I'm really lazy today, both the huskies will just start fighting and running around, jumping off the walls, literally bouncing off the sofa, just because they know, dude, if we make enough noise, we'll probably get fed so that we calm down. So just be prepared if you're getting yourself a husky. The zoomies and the crazy behavior comes right before the hunger strikes. Now, just so you guys know, every single night, both of my huskies get fed at 9 p.m. Like clockwork, Gila will come up to me every night at 9 p.m. and look at me and be like, yo, bro, you know what time it is? And Britney Spears will give me this like little puppy dog look like this, just like, Dad, I'm hungry. And it is just way too adorbs. And one more thing that we need to talk about whenever it comes to feeding Siberian Huskies, because it's really important, and for the most part, it only affects Huskies. Siberian Huskies have really sensitive tummies, very strange appetites. So sometimes when you feed them, they're gonna look at you and be like, dude, there's no way I'm eating that. And you're gonna have to kind of find something different to entice their appetites. Most dogs will just look at food and be like, oh bro, I'm eating this in 2 seconds. I'm hungry. Food equals love. Siberian Huskies don't feel that way. If you give a husky something that they don't like and that they're not crazy about, they're gonna look at you like a cow looks at an oncoming train. So you have to be creative. If your husky is not eating the food that you're giving them, you need to go out and buy something different or get yourself a food topper. Food toppers are are super popular amongst Siberian Huskies because you can just put it right on top of the wet food or the kibble and it makes the food all that more delicioso. That's gonna be it from us today. We hope you guys had a blast. That was everything you basically need to know when it comes to keeping your best friend, your Siberian Husky, fed. You should trust me, they're gonna thank you for it because when a husky's belly is full, they're absolutely the happiest. Am I right or am I right, homie? That's right. If you guys had fun, don't forget to smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any more Huskaroni Pizza episodes and you stay up to date with all the good training stuff so you know how to raise, train, and live with your Siberian Husko. We're about to split, but we'll see you next time with another episode of Guess What? Yup, you guessed it, whatever we make. Peace! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba.